Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Keith, and on this channel we talk about all things eBay related. So this is a week in the life of what I get up to as a part-time eBay reseller. And if that's something that interests you, follow along. If you do find some value in these videos, I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. Really help support the channel and push it further. Now, normally I would say I've got 8 sales because that's what a weekend normally brings me nowadays. But this weekend, I've had 13 sales. So that's above average. And it's been for £244, which is much better than previous weekends. I think it's probably one of my better weekends actually. Certainly this year. When I compare to last year, I think it's even on the same scale, because last year I was getting sales of 20 items, 15 to 20 items. This year I'm getting 8 if I'm lucky. 13 is one of the biggest numbers I've had this year over the weekend. Anyway, I think we'll just get straight into it and show you what's sold. First up we have some Tupperware. This came in the big Tupperware box that I bought months ago now. The money has been all made back. I paid £8 for the whole lot. More than half of it is sold straight away. You know, we're talking hundreds of pounds of profit already. Little bits like this that are left, that's gone for £4. It was one of the lowest value pieces in there, but still, it's nice, got some age to it. Going to a new home, so that's gone for £4. Next up we have a British Army jacket. It is a DPM Gore-Tex jacket, and that has gone for £18.69p on offer. We then have this is a brand new with tags Guinness fleece. Came out of a Boom wholesale sack, not the bad one, the good one that was before that one. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch a couple of videos. That has gone for £17.99, so really happy with that one. Next up we have, now I picked this up from a charity shop, and the reason I picked it up, I thought it was really unique. So it is a bowls jumper, so it's got like embroidery on it. The tag says V&J style, which doesn't really mean anything. And I thought when I first bought it, it had a bit of value, so I first listed it for like 18 quid. When I say it had no views whatsoever, it had no views whatsoever. It's quite a big size. It's quite a niche market. Bowls. Many people play bowls. Which is why it's only gone for £9.99. But it's out the door. Means I can get that money back and buy more stock. Next up we have the White Company. This is a women's jacket. It's size 12 and it is sold for 20 quid. I picked this up from a charity shop. I think I would have paid 7 quid for it, something like that. Hasn't stuck around too long, so happy days. Really pleased with that, as I am with this next one. These are some of the wackiest trousers I've seen. They're from a brand called Lucy and Yak, and they are a size small. The only reason I picked them up is because of how wacky they are, and I thought somebody is going to be wacky enough. They're probably really trendy. I don't know. I'm not a trendy guy. Somebody's going to want them, and they did, and they didn't hang around very long. I've had them a while, but they've been stuck on my shelf of trousers. So what I do is I collect all my trousers up until I've got a good group of them to do, and I do them all together. So I tend to do like bundles of 30 trousers together and do all the photographs that way. So they've only just got on. Happy days, and they've gone for £18.49. Next one we have is some Wrangler shorts. Yep, so that is these are Wrangler shorts that came in the Fleek wholesale bundle. Nice sale for them. They've gone for £14.99. I think the same person who bought them has actually bought something else as well, but I'll let you know in a minute. My best sale, I think, was the pair of D-squared jeans. They're really heavily distressed. They are supposed to be heavily distressed. They have gone for £40. That came in the Boom wholesale sack, the last one, the one that I wasn't very happy with, but they came in that, so starting to claw some money back. £40 back into the kitty. Now that bale costs 340 quid, so only £300 to go to get me money back. Next up we have a vintage FootJoy overtop pullover. It's like a pullover waterproof when you're playing golf. That's gone for £24.99. It was a really nice sale. One that came in this morning, pair of Levi's, again from the Boom, no, not from the Boom wholesale, from the Fleek wholesale bale. They have gone for £17 on offer. They were listed for 20. Somebody offered 17 this morning. Glad to get it gone. The guy that bought the Wrangler shorts for £14.99 also purchased these Wrangler cargo shorts for £14.99. So happy days. He has asked to combine postage, so he saves some money, so I've got to remember to do that. And then finally we have a Monsoon brand new with tag linen blend blouse. That came from the eBay buyout that I did last year, so it cost me £3. There's not a lot of value in it. I think the only thing that gave it any value was the fact that it was linen and we're coming into the summer. So that has sold for £7.50. But again, you know, what's it taken 5 months to go for a really a high street brand? I don't think that's too bad. Right, so I've got to get it all packed. It's currently midday, so for those of you that are new here, I have a 9-to-5 job, and normally what I do is I do my postage and packaging in the middle of the day when I'm on my lunch break. So it's currently 12 o'clock. I've got about 40 to 50 minutes to get this all packed up, get it to the post office, and then have something to eat. So I'm going to crack on with that. Also, before I forget, I have actually done a bit of a planning session. So I'm going to take you through that while I've got the camera rolling. So what we're going to do this week is Tuesday, we're going to put 5 live from our drafts. We're going to do a pick and a post. Obviously we're on Monday now, so I'm doing a planning session. Pick and post, 5 live. 5 have been done. I'm about to do pick and post, and I've already done my planning session because it's already on the board. So Tuesday, just spoke to you about. Wednesday is an office day, so I don't do anything on eBay on the office day apart from put 5 live in from my drafts. Thursday, very much the same. I will do a pick and a post. It probably won't be a very big one, same as Friday. And then Saturday I will do 5 live, and Sunday I'll do 5 live. There's no car boot this week because I've got enough stock to keep me going. I have got to do a stock take. So Saturday and Sunday I'm going to do the stock take, and if I don't complete it Saturday and Sunday, I will have to roll it over to next week. So I might try, depending on how well these days go. If I've got a lot of postage to do on Thursday and Friday, then I won't be able to do anything. But if Thursday and Friday lunchtime is looking a little bit light from parcels point of view, I might be able to start a stock take of a certain racking. So I might be able to do like F, for example, that just isn't full at the minute because I've still got a bit of room here, or somewhere that I can easily get to just on a lunch break, and then sort of get ahead of the game for Saturday and Sunday. Now, I think I've worked out that I don't need to source for a month. With the stock that I've already got here, the stock that I've got to rework and iron, etc., and the stock that is piled up here, I think I've got 30 days worth, plus what's already in my draft, at listing 5 a day. So I think that June will be a non-sourcing month, which means you won't get a car boot video for a month. And whilst that probably does suck, I think it's probably for the best for the business at the minute, because we are throwing money at stock and we are not turning over enough stock. One of the things that I've committed to do this week, and it's already on the board, I don't know if I'm going to be able to see it, down here, it says cross list to Vinted. Now, I don't want to have to do that one by one. I don't want that to be a manual task. It has to be a system where I can upload all of my items from eBay and then publish them on Vinted. I also maybe want to be able to do that to multiple platforms if needed. So I'm going to do some investigation this week into a cross-listing app that I can use. Yes, I'll have to pay for it, but that's fine. To get all of my items this week onto Vinted. So that hopefully, if I have 5 sales a day on eBay consistently, and if I can bump that up with some Vinted sales as well, coming out of the weekend, maybe I won't just have 8 or 9 sales. Maybe I'll get back up to 15 sales. That's the plan. And I just have to do a load of research into that. So, whilst there'll be no sourcing, there won't be nothing to do. I'll have lots to do. I've got lots of listing to do. I've got lots of sorting out to do. I've got lots of planning to do, because this is an ever-moving beast, and currently it's not operating as it should be. Now, I think one of the things that I'm definitely going to do is when I do my stock take, I will get items, undoubtedly, that are no longer listed on eBay, because for whatever reason, when they go stagnant, eBay just seems to pull them off the platform, and I don't know why. So I will also gain a number of items that way that I'll have to rephotograph and reskew. But I will also go through all of my old listings as well and freshen them up to whatever degree needs to happen. So some of the listings I did myself back in the day, and I am not the greatest lister in the world. I don't know if that's even a competition that anyone could enter, but I'm not the greatest lister in the world. I'm not the greatest at taking photographs. I don't have the best setup. Everything is just that will do, because that's good enough. So the listing was that's good enough, but clearly the listings are not good enough because they haven't got the right keywords in, or the price isn't right. Now, most of my listings I have brought down in price just periodically, so it tells me that the keywords in the listing isn't correct. So I will probably pull those off, redo the listings, and then stick them back on to see if I can get any traction. It might be that when I bought the items, they were selling really well, and now they don't. So I will donate them to a charity shop. But yeah. First job though, Monday morning, post. So just looking through the figures, from a revenue point of view, we're almost exactly the same as we were last year. So we're £5 less than last year. £430 this year, £435 last year. Week 20. So last year we spent £352. This year we spent £683. But if we're committing not to buy anything at all for the next 4 weeks, last year's that came to £1,349 that we're not spending in June this year. So maybe I can claw some cash back. That's the plan. And then hopefully I can pick the revenue up if I can get all my items cross-listed to Vinted and try and bump those sales up. I really wanted to stay on one platform. It makes it so much easier, but I don't know if that's going to be possible. Anyway, everything is packed, ready for the post office. So I'm going to do that next, and then I'm going to crack on with the rest of my 9 to 5. Welcome to Tuesday, guys. Now, Monday ended up being a really good day on eBay. So I did £159 for the day on eBay, which is way above where I normally am. And I got my first Vinted sale. So, and it wasn't a cheap one. It ended up being 33 quid. So I had the item listed for 39. Offer came in for 33. Accepted the offer. No fees. Why wouldn't I accept the offer? I would always accept like a 10% offer anyway on eBay. It was listed for the same price on eBay. 33 quid. Happy days. So let me show you what sold on Vinted first. Hiding away. It is this very nice corduroy cause slow pitch bomber jacket. It's beautiful. If I was cool enough, I would wear this myself, but I'm not this cool. So yeah, 33 quid. That's the next suit. 33 quid. Proper vintage label in the side. Very nice. Happy with that. I'm happy that I got a sale on Vinted really quickly as well. One of my aims is to look at cross-listing onto Vinted. What I did was I put 10 items over manually to see how hard it would be, how much effort it would take. It's too much effort. Too much effort for a part-time reseller to sit there and go through it all. So I'm gonna still look into a system that does it for me. But that's gone out the door. Happy days. The only thing I don't like about Vinted is for some reason it doesn't give you a proper label. I have to have a QR code and I have to give it to the postmaster for them to do the label. I don't know why it doesn't just let me do the labels at home. Currently I do a drop and go service, so I literally walk in, drop the bag, I actually tip the bag out on the floor, and he deals with everything. But if it's going to just start printing QR codes, I'm going to have to wait, and probably wait in a queue with everybody else, which for a man who's got very limited time on his lunch break isn't ideal. But just something I'm going to have to work out. Then we move on to eBay. So A1607 and A901. So we have 2 pairs of shorts, I believe. One is, they're both camo, one's Wrangler, one's Lee, going to the same person. Happy days. Now with the shorts, I have noticed that I get a lot of multi quantities with the Fleek shorts, so that's good. Similar styles, because there was a lot of camo in there, so that's really positive. The trouble I have is they say the total is $44.98. I don't know that I had them listed for 22 each. Maybe I did. I did list them. Oh, maybe I did. Anyway, 45 quid for 2 pairs of shorts. Happy days. A907, I don't think I've put that away yet. A907 is a Tommy Hilfiger jumper. It came in the Boom wholesale sack, the one that I wasn't happy with, and that has sold for £6.99. £6 actually, £6. The trouble I have with Tommy Hilfiger jumpers when they're like this one is there's thousands on there, so you have to be the cheapest to sell it. There's nothing about it apart from this H, and I don't think many people want a H on their chest. Maybe if your name begins with a H you might do, but I don't particularly think it's that desirable. When I looked on there, there was lots listed for 12 quid, lots listed for 14 quid, but most of them had sold for like 3 to 8 quid. I had this listed for 8. Somebody offered me 6. Quick turnaround. I'm going to take it. B1007. B1007 is an AC/DC hoodie. It's got tie-dye on it. I don't know if it was originally tie-dyed or somebody has redone the tie-dye after the fact, but it's a nice thing, and that has gone for £24.99. And again, that came from the Vintage Wholesale Supply bale, which I was extremely unhappy with, but now I'm not. How a man can be wrong. And my best sale, F208. Is a Northampton Saints polo shirt that has sold for £52.99, and that came in the Boom wholesale sack, which was the unbranded one. Really good, that one. That's it. So I'm going to get these packed up, and I couldn't go to the post office yesterday. Well, I went to the post office, but it was shut, and they were having a new system update. So I'm going to go again today, and if the system's still not up, I'm going to have to go to another town because I'm going to get late delivery dings on the account. But with the Vinted sale, I'm really happy with that. I can't tell you how happy I am with that sale. So today, I'm gonna try and look at cross-listing platforms, and I need to adjust my P&L so I have eBay on one table, Vinted on another, and so that the totals add up. That's what I need to do. Yeah. Anyway, packing time. So to round Tuesday off, it hasn't been a bad day actually. So I've got 3 sales that I've had today. I think I had one more that I posted this morning, can't remember. But 3 sales. This one is a Triumph shirt that has gone for £15. The last of the Rohan film, the last of the Rohan shorts have gone. I I bought 3 of these. They were £2 each. They have sold for full asking price, £26.99. Really good buy. And the Quicksilver shirt, which is brand new with tags, has sold for £21 on offer. So all in all, not a bad sales day. Those 3 combined come to £70, so that's really good for me. Also, I have managed to cross list 100 items onto Vinted. I have decided to pull the trigger and use the app that is simply called Cross List. I'll put up a screenshot here to show you which one it is. And so far so good. It seems really simple. It is £23, 23p a month. But I feel like if I can get some sales from Vinted, it'd be worth it. Nothing come through yet, but I only listed them 2 hours ago. So not expecting a great amount today or tomorrow. And if I can continue to consistently list on Vinted, I'm guessing the algorithm is going to be similar to eBay's, where the more active you are, the more items you will sell. I'm guessing. Very new to Vinted. So yeah, so that is rounded up Tuesday. Tomorrow there will be nothing. It'll be an office day, so there'll be absolutely nothing tomorrow. I will put 5 live. I'm going to update the board and put like cross list 15 a day or 30 a day, because I've got like 900 items that I need to get on there. So I'm going to cross list X amount every day as well, going forward onto Vinted, and then we should be good. So next time you see me, I'll probably be checking in on Thursday morning. Hey guys, still Wednesday, just back from work, and I've decided to do some shipping. The reason I've decided to do some shipping is somebody has asked for next day delivery on an item. I've said that's fine if they pay full price, then I'll do that. I've said I'll do 24 tracked, which gets the item there for when they need it. They need it for Saturday. The item in question is this Green Day hat, which is sold for £14.99. So I'm going to do that, and if I'm doing that, I may as well do them all. Some other sales I've had come in. I've had one more from Vinted, so that's really positive. So that's 2 in 2 days, so great stuff. It is this Motorhead t-shirt, which cost me £2, and it's sold for £12.99. Again, with no fees, so get to keep all that. You'll have to take my word for it. This is a Looney Tunes t-shirt. It's only gone for £5. I'm glad to see it gone though. Paid £2 for it. That was on eBay. And then the other one on eBay is a pair of burgundy corduroy trousers that have gone for £8. I think that's it. Yeah. So not a bad day in total. Not a bad couple of days so far for this week. Yeah, I'm just going to get these packed. The next time you will see me, it will be Thursday. I'm calling Wednesday. Wednesday's nice and short. Normally I wouldn't do anything, but because this customer has asked for a quick turnaround, I thought I'm home a little bit earlier, I can crack on with that. See you tomorrow. Great news. I have just found my chest mount. Randomly, I've just packed all these orders up. I need a bag to take them to the post office, and a lot of my IKEA bags are in use. And I thought I'll just go and grab a Co-op bag from underneath the racking, and there it was. So I can cancel the order from Amazon. I found it. I need to put it somewhere safe now, not scrumpled in a Co-op bag. What a day! Good morning. It is not Thursday. Nothing happened on Thursday, so not a lot to report. In fact, only 2 sales for most of Thursday, and then I've had a couple come in overnight. So in total, we've had four sales. That's not too bad, you know. I'm trying to get to 5 sales a day consistently. Not too bad, and the value's for about 80 quid. So happy days. I'm just going to get straight into it. I mean, today is a busy day. I've got a boom wholesale set coming today. Now I won't be unboxing it in this video because what's the point until I've done the stock take? Rather than empty everything out and get more stock on the table, which is already a little bit suspect. There's a lot of weight on there currently. Rather than getting it all out and putting it onto this already leaning pile of clothing and trying to have to work around it, I'm just going to wait until I've completed the stock take. So if I complete the stock take on Saturday, I might get to it Sunday, but more than likely it will be next week's video, so it'll be on Monday probably. But let me show you what's sold on Thursday. So first of all, we have, I'll do eBay first because I've actually had a sale on Vinted as well. So that's 3 sales in 4 days, and that's not too bad. So on eBay, we have sold these pair of Keen running trainers. They're not my cup of tea, but the brand is pretty decent, so I picked them up. I didn't make a lot of profit on them because I took an offer quite early on. So I paid 10 for these in a charity shop, and they have sold for 20. Quick double up. They've only been on 2 weeks. I had them listed for 35. Offer came in for 20. Profit is profit. Gone. Next up, we have a vintage, I'm gonna butcher this name, it's Navika. It's a ski jacket. It's like an 80s ski jacket. It's wacky, it's brilliant, bright colours. It screams 1980s. And that has sold for £21.24p. And I can only assume must have been an offer. They didn't use the 10% coupon that's on the store, but such a random number, it's got to be an offer, right? Next up, we have this Nike Dry Fit Golf Polo. It's orange and silver. I've had this for quite a while. I've had it listed for $19.99 with nothing at all, no watches, no offers, nothing at all. And that was coming up to a year, and somebody offered me 10 quid. Now I know I definitely didn't pay £10 for it. I couldn't tell you where I got it from, whether it was charity shop, car boot, wholesale set, don't know. But it has gone for a tenner, and I'm happy to see the back of it, if I'm being honest. Again, I think it's because there's so many listed that you have to be really competitive on price. And at $19.99 for a Nike Golf Polo, I probably wasn't the most competitive, so that makes sense. And then one that came in this morning is a pair of Fat Face cargo shorts from the Fleek wholesale bale. Offer came in at $12.51. It was a bit low, but I don't want to be sitting on them. They have to sell this summer because I don't want them in the winter, because they're not going to sell in the winter, or they're not going to sell as often. And whilst I've got the momentum of people coming to my store and looking for shorts, I want eBay to know that I'm willing to take offers on shorts. So that's what I've done. I had them listed for 20, somebody offered $12.51. The 51 is because postage is £3.49, so they're just making it up to a whole number. I understand why it's 51. And that's all of eBay's. Now we move on to Vinted. One thing I've noticed with Vinted, I have had over 4 days 10 people offer me prices for items, all different items, and I've accepted probably 99% of them. There's only one that I've not accepted. So I've accepted offers on like 15 items and not one of them has pulled the trigger. I don't feel it's that bad on eBay. Maybe it is. Especially because it's not me sending them the offer, they're sending me the offer. Where if that's on eBay, I almost get 100% conversion rate. If they're sending me the offer, they want the item, I'm accepting the offer that they've put forward and we get paid. On Vinted, they offer me a price, I accept the price, and tumbleweeds. Nothing happens. At first I thought, oh, here we go. I'm going to get like 8 or 9 sales on Vinted. It's going to surpass eBay. But currently, unless everyone's saving the offers up for today, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Friday, everyone get paid today. Maybe I've got like 15 orders coming. Oh, fingers crossed. Let's keep them fingers crossed that everybody's gonna execute on in the offers today. Anyway, probably not gonna happen. We have sold a pair of Hugo Boss jeans. There's a fly in my face. Pair of Hugo Boss jeans. They've sold for £20. They were on Vinted for £25, £24.99. Offer came in at 20, but they get to keep the whole 20. They were also on eBay for £24.99, and if I accept, even if somebody bought it full price, the fees would have made it less than £20. So that's why I accepted the offer of 20. It makes it nice and easy. So I am going to get all of those packaged. Right then, Saturday morning, time has come to start this stock take. But before we start anything, before we start pulling any boxes out, I've got to tidy up what we've got down here. So I'm going to shove that Boom wholesale sack right out of the way, probably outside. In fact, I don't know if it will because it's started raining. This is put away, this is to be put away. There's a bag down there to be put away. This needs putting away. Might move this pile into the house. And then, yeah. Don't know if this is going to be stable enough for me to leave it there. I need to clear all this off. I need as much space as I can, because what I do is I pull every single box out from one rack at a time. So I'm doing all of A, so every box will come out. The reason I do that is because sometimes when I put items away, and because everything's so compact, if I try and put something away in A9, it might slip into A10. So if I've got all the boxes laid out, if I find one that should be another one, I can easily change it over. They're not usually too bad, but I find it easier. It's easier when I do the put away as well. So I'll pull all the boxes out, tidy up, pull all the boxes out, then do the put away for A, then go onto the computer to see what we've got in each location physically, and then write down the 3 locations. So yes, first things first, let's get this one out of the way. Absolutely dying to open this. By pulling everything out, first thing it allows me to do is check the racking, because when you have so much weight on it, sometimes these boards bow and bend. That's exactly what's happened to this one. So it's not sat on right, which has meant that the boxes are starting to fall through, and this one, I don't know if you can see it very well, but they weren't sitting on right. So not only is it good because every box is out, I get to check the racking, and it also means I can't leave the garage now until I've done this section. So win-win. Right, so we're just firing up the computer, and I've got box A1, and all I have to do is go onto my active listings and then filter it in order. Now some of these you can see already don't have any SKU numbers on. Now a couple of these I will know why, because they're in the everything section or they're on the rack. I say the rack, the hanging rack. So some of these I don't bother skewing because they're hanging. So a lot of those are fine. There we go, A101. So according to this, we have A101, we don't have A102. So A101, A103, so we are missing A102, A104, A105, A106 is not there, but I do know that it needs putting away. There it is. So A106 goes in there. We have A107. A108 is there. A109 is there. And A110 is there. So I'm just going to repeat that for the next 19 boxes for A. It's a really good start. Everything is expected to be there. I do have to create one label, so I will quite simply on the sheet A102. So I've created my first SKU, and I will do that for the entire garage. I'm not going to film the whole lot. I just wanted to let you know that's what the process was going to be today. So I'm just going to get through all of this lot now, and I'll check in if there's any anomalies or when I'm finished. So that is A all complete. And it's not taken that long, I don't think. I think it's taken about 40 minutes, maybe an hour to do that. Good thing is, all of those items are listed and still active on eBay. Just the one that wasn't. And we've also gained 20 odd locations. 25 locations. So, positive start. Just got to keep chugging away at it. Now, A, B and C are always a faff because of this rail here. I really should probably have taken this down before I do A and B. And in the new unit, I keep talking about this new unit like it might not even happen this year. But if I ever do the reseller room down the bottom, I will not have a hanging rail in the middle of the unit because it's just so much of a faff to squeeze through. Yeah, so A, B and C are always a bit of a faff. D gets a bit easier because you've got more access. E is the easiest of all to do, and F, there should be nothing that isn't listed on eBay because that's the newest stock. So I'm just going to crack on, pull all the B out and do that. Wow, we are motoring ahead. So far I have done A, B, C and D. Just got E, which is a full one, and then F, which is only currently 2 shelves. It's taking about an hour per rack-in, but it is worthwhile. We've created 82 locations, perfect, and we've also found out that these items in this bag are not listed. Now, some of this is not eBay's fault, some of this is my fault. This particular item is a multi-quantity listing, and clearly I've not put enough on there. The item says it's currently got 0 available. Well, I found one, nice and easy. There are a few bits. This particular one was taken down because it was deemed to be not from the actual supplier, the brand. It's VW, and I do have a few problems with VW clothing items. If I put them up and they're advertised as VW the brand, they seem to get taken down. Now these are George with VW licensing, so now I have to put George in the title. This one didn't, this just said VW. So I'm going to try put it back up with just VW as a secondary brand. There's a couple of bits in here that I'm surprised have come down because they've not long gone up. So there's a lot of shorts in there. So there's some, and then the Carhartt ones. There's some Carhartt shorts in here. And I thought, well, really strange that they've come down because sold quite a few of them, and I don't know. There's no rhyme or logic to it. I kind of understand that a puffer coat has come down. It's probably been up for a long time. This particular one has been up for, this has got to be an over a year item, but it was live in January and now it's not. So I don't know when it's come down, but I think that this one's probably going to have to be donated to the charity shop just because it has got, it's a vintage windbreaker, but it's got a company's logo on it, so always a little bit more difficult to shift on. But hopefully in the next hour or so, stock take will be done. That'd be great if I get it all done in one day. Gives me loads more time on the weekend. Some big ass spiders in this garage as well. You know, when I'm pulling the boxes out. Ooh! I had to throw some boxes outside, I'll tell you that. For you guys watching in Australia, and I know there are some, they're not as big as your spiders. They're probably like that. But, you know, big for here. Anyway, keep going. And we're done. So the time is now 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so that's not too bad at all. The last couple didn't take an hour. It probably took less than 40 minutes to do both of them, so that's really good. Now, we managed to create 140 locations, so that's great because I've got all of this pile to go through. And I've also got the Boom wholesale sack, which I'm going to open on Monday because it's a bank holiday and I haven't got to do my 9 to 5. So that's going to be a nice little treat. 20 items we've pulled out that were not listed on eBay anymore. So those are 20 items that were at one stage on the shop, but are now no longer available to buy. And it's a right mixture of things. There's no rhyme or reason. So we've got like 5 woolly hats. They're all Vikings hats, but I won't probably list them till nearer the winter. Firstly, because the season doesn't start till like September, and secondly, nobody's after a woolly hat right now. We also had a good mix of stuff in here as well. A mixture of shorts, a mixture of... There's some Harley Davidson jumpers in there, and I was wondering why they hadn't gone. So they're not available. So yeah, I think I'm going to call the week there. I'm going to call the week a day early. So it's a Saturday, and I'm going to enjoy the long bank holiday weekend and spend Sunday with the family. And I hope that you guys enjoy your bank holiday as well. I'll see you on Monday. It won't be bright and early because it's a bank holiday, and who wants to get up early on a bank holiday? We will still do a planning session, but we won't do a pick and pack and post because there's no post office open on Monday. And we'll get into the Boom wholesale sack. Oh, I've just sold something. Ralph Lauren hoodie. That'd be nice. Yeah. See you next week.